So, on behalf of NYDC Education, it's our absolute pleasure that Minister Simone Key has offered to deliver this trance workshop this evening. So, over to you, Simone.
Thank you, Libby. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's lovely to see you all, and I'm sure you're all at different time zones and different climates. But anyway, we all come together in the power of trance. Today, being a trance workshop, I'm going to be looking at, the purpose of trance, or how we can affect the trance state, who we communicate with in terms of our guides and helpers. And we're going to be looking at many different aspects of trance as well. One of my main aims is to help you see that trance is not just one state of consciousness. It can be many different states of consciousness. And the word that haunts me within this work is the word deep, because deep implies better, but it isn't necessarily better. If I look at my work, for instance, with, say, trance healing, that will be a lighter state than, say, trance speaking, because vocabulary has an energy, and as the spirit speaks through us, that energy takes us into a deeper state of consciousness. However, that state would not be right for trance healing. So I want you to see how it is your way. I don't want you to think we're robots. We are not robots, we're people, and we're all different. And you have always been in communication with the spirit world and will be for eternity. So nobody has the right to tell you that you're wrong in the way that you connect with the spirit. But my aim today is to show you the versatility of trance, that it's more than one state, it's more than one purpose. And we're going to be looking at trance healing, trance speaking, which is when the spirit world speaks through us with philosophy. It's about trance guidance, where we're able to guide people in their everyday life. Trance spiritual assessments, which is an appraisal from the spirit world about your development, if you like. And then, of course, we're going to include in there trance communication, which is an opportunity for loved ones to speak directly to loved ones. Now, all I ask, please, is that if there's anything today in these next 4 hours that we've got together and you don't understand, please don't hesitate to ask me, especially with trance. If we have a worry or a concern in our mind, and we're trying to work with trance, it's going to stop us reaching the state we need to be in, because our mind will come into it. So if you feel that there's something that you may feel uncomfortable with, or is not sitting, it's not settling with you, or something happens where you feel, I just want to ask this question. And please remember, no question is too stupid for me, okay? I promise you, if you're asking it, so am I, okay? So we all need to know that we need to make sure that we're all working together, and that the work that we do is very personal as well. We're going to be working with each other, but most importantly, it's going to be about your development and how you perceive it and what you achieve today. Okay, so I want us to start to look at what trance is and what trance isn't. I'm going to start with what it is. This trance state means that we have to go into an altered state of consciousness to find it. What that really means in everyday language is we have to move our minds away from the here and now and going into the stillness and silence within, finding our own sacred space, so that the spirit world that works with us can come to the fore of our minds, and basically where there's less of you and more of them. I've always said, and still stand by the words, that in our development in trance, it's probably 97% us and 3% spirit when we start. But as we move on in both our understanding and our development, our unfoldment, we will find that ratio changes. But please remember, there will never be pure spirit, because all spirit activity works through the consciousness of the medium. So there's always going to be something of us in there. And as I say, when you've been working for some time with trance, some years maybe, you will find that there's still a very small part of you that's present, maybe 5%. This is not about sleep. Please let me tell you that. I hear so many people say, oh, when I'm in trance, I go to sleep. I'm so sorry. I don't believe that's true, because if you're in this trance state, you're not in sleep. And the sleep state is not the right state of consciousness to be in, because that's the unconscious state, and the spirit world can't work with us in that. Yes, of course, they can take us into a dream state, but that's not trance. That's another state of consciousness. So I want us to remember that it's just a question of practice, practice, and more practice. Okay. My aim today is to give you the tools so that you can go away. You're going to be practicing today, I promise you, a lot. But when you go away from here, I want you to keep it up, because the point of trance is to enable a closeness of blending with spirit. The more we blend with them, the more we know. The more we can work together as a partnership, if you like, or cooperation, call it what you like. But that's our aim. Our aim is to, examine that relationship we have. That relationship we have with the spirit world that works with us is going to last us a lifetime and beyond. We need to understand them. Now, I'm going to say this to you now, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but this is mine. I'm not particularly interested in who works with me. I know I work with a collective mind, a collective consciousness. I know that when we're working with healing, for instance, all those minds that will come close to you will be close to you because of your compassion and your care. They will have lived in our world, and they will want to give you the benefit of their experience of our world as well. But please don't ask me to look at you and tell you if you've got a Native American Indian or a nun or a Chinese guide. It doesn't work like that for me, because I believe, and I used to do that. Please don't misunderstand me. I used to, but I don't now, because now I see it as a collective mind, a collective consciousness. It's almost like, for me, the best way to describe it is like a kaleidoscope. And if you remember what a kaleidoscope is, where you turn it round, you've got the same pieces of plastic in the kaleidoscope or glass, but as you turn it round, you get a different pattern. And that's how I see the spirit team that works with each one of us, as a kaleidoscope of color, where they move around until they fit us exactly right for whatever we're doing, for the purpose of working to benefit humankind. That's why we do this. So I want us to remember too that trance is about, helping the spirit world to have their say, enabling them to come to the fore, so that they can help to give us, through the benefit of their experience of life and in the eternal world as well, and just to help us to help other people, to recognize that each one of us has got a spirit that is willing to help another. And that's because that's why we're here. If you didn't have that, you wouldn't be here in the first place. If you didn't know that, you wouldn't be here in the first place. Trance for me is not an easy start if you know nothing, but nevertheless, it's the most amazing way to be if you want to understand your relationship with the spirit and you want to understand the hold. Because what happens is the spirit world will help you by putting a place or placing a hold on your mind, on your consciousness. And the depth of that hold will determine the quality of your trance. So that's what we're going to be experimenting today. I want to tell you now what trance isn't. And I'm afraid it isn't seeing anything. It's not hearing anything. It's not feeling anything. And it's not knowing anything. That is as hard as it gets. So sorry, because I believe every one of us is a control freak. And I'm at the top of that list, by the way. I want to know what's going on. I want to know every step of the way what's happening, But we have to, with trance, we have to learn to step away from that inquisitive mind. Let the spirit do their work. And what I will say to you is, yes, you must analyze. Because in this movement, for some reason, they tell us not to analyze. I totally disagree. I feel we should analyze our work. But what I want to ask you is, please analyze your work when it's finished, not while you're doing it. And that way you'll have a better perception of where you are as well. So the point of trance really is about helping our world through by removing our own minds, if you like, by removing our own awareness and going into that stillness and silence within, where the spirit world can do their work through us. But it has to be through our minds in a particular state where we can help. What we're going to do today is we're going to start with healing, because I want to start with a gentle, all of trance is gentle, by the way, but I wanted to start with the most gentle, because it doesn't matter what state of consciousness you're in, you will always give healing to somebody if you want them to receive healing. That's how it works. It works through your compassion. It works through your care. It works through your willingness to serve. So that intention in itself will help other people, and you will be giving them healing. And also through your connection with them, the spirit world would know that as well. However, when it comes to trance healing, what I want us to do is to remember that this is about letting go. This is about finding a way of subduing our conscious minds and learning to be detached from our thoughts. Now, that's as hard as it gets for me. I promise you, it's taken a long time to get there for me, but I want to assure you, you can. It does not mean you've got to stop thinking. Please don't believe that, because you're born to think. You can't stop thinking. If I'm sitting here thinking, I'm not thinking, I'm still thinking. But what we've got to do is we've got to allow our minds to be subdued, to be very, very passive. So our thinking isn't about, you're not attached to anything, that you're just having very gentle thoughts that go through your mind. That's how it works. So what I want you now to do is we're just going to sit in the power. This is not doing anything other than just sitting in the power. And I want to talk you through this. Okay. Now, I know there's quite a few of us, and unfortunately I can't get to see everybody at the same time. But I just want to say to you, please don't think I'm talking about anyone in particular, but you can't do trance if you're chewing gum. So anything that brings you back to the here and now is not going to be good for you. So if you're uncomfortable, get comfortable. If you're not sitting in the right chair, get the right chair, because you're going to be sitting in that chair for 4 hours, just in case you hadn't remembered. So you need to be sitting up, sitting straight. Good. Okay. So I want you just to sit comfortably and be aware of the weight of your body on your chair. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe out very, very slowly. And I want you to move your mind into your room and connect with the energy in your room. Just be focused. Just focus on your mind. If other thoughts come into your mind, just ignore them and just rejoin us. Don't worry. Don't think you've messed anything up, because once you say that to yourself, you have. So just move your mind away. And now just raise your consciousness up, higher and higher. And some of you might see light, some of you may not see anything at all, and that's great. But just move your mind up and feel that connection to the spirit. So invite them close. Set your intention, which is you would like them to lead you where you need to be. And now just move your mind away from that thought and just go down within yourself, letting go of the here and now, going into the stillness and silence, moving beyond the personality, moving beyond the ego. Just going into that small sacred space within. Just knowing that you've joined the spirit, that they're very, very close to you. Let them show you where you need to be. I'm going to leave you there just for a few minutes, that's all. Okay, just very gently bring your minds back to your room. Please, please take your time. Be sure to be fully back before you open your eyes. Thank you. Just take your time. I'm hoping everybody's back, but I can't see everybody's eyes, so I'm having to take a gamble and hope that everybody's okay. All right. Okay, is everybody okay at the moment? Good. Oh, thank you for acknowledging me. That's great. Thanks. Okay. Okay, I think everybody's okay. I just wanted to, we're going to be sitting again before we go into breakout rooms, but I just wanted to run past a few things that I just want you to know, in case you've realized that you're suffering from any of them. On one of them, you'll notice you'll have breathing changes, and you may find that your breathing slows down. Well, it should, because everything about you slows down with trance. You know, your heart rate, your blood pressure, because your thinking slows down. And your thinking and your heart go hand in hand, if you pardon the pun, because, you know, the faster we think, the faster we breathe. That's how we sometimes suffer with anxiety and all sorts. So, you know, please don't worry if your breathing changes and then you suddenly realize you maybe haven't had taken a deep breath for a while, and then you suddenly feel this need to take a deep breath. That's very, very normal with trance, okay? Because everything within you slows down, as I say, you know, so, you know, don't worry about that. There's always a change of skin tone, and that's not seen with my psychic ability, that's seen with my physical eyes. But unfortunately, I find it hard online, because if you look at everybody else's screens, you'll see that the light comes in different ways. So I can't tell if that's your skin tone or the light. So I won't be able to see that online, but I can in the room. But there is always a skin tone change when you're in an altered state of consciousness, always. So I'll leave that to you, but you don't have to look hard to see it. You know, you'll see the person's gone into the altered state just by their skin tone as well. And of course, I know too, because when the spirit is present, I'm not going to see them as people with you. There's no need. There's no need for them to take on a physical form. What they show me is themselves in energy. So therefore, I will always, when the spirit is present, the energy with the individual is always very, very fast, almost like static energy. And that's another sign that the spirit is present. You know, I'm only talking about the spirit team that works with you, by the way, not, you know, family or friends. That's not how it works. Not for me anyway. Sometimes we find that there's a kind of rocking that goes on, very, very slight. Maybe some of you had that happen today, where, you know, very, very slightly, your mind is just going really gently from side to side, your head is moving. That's because you found the frequency of energy between yours and the spirits. And what's happened is it's a comforter. It feels really comfortable and easy when you've blended like that. Won't last forever, unfortunately, but it's just quite nice while it does last. Okay, so please don't worry about that. Another one, the big one for me is swallowing. It's always been an issue, because for some reason, when we're in the trance state, we seem to want to swallow more. And when we swallow, that act, because it's a physical act, brings us back to the here and now, which is not what we want. But I believe, anyway, until somebody tells me differently, that because I believe we're working with adrenaline, even though it's very calm and subdued, it's still adrenaline. And the adrenal glands are attached to the kidneys. And therefore, that response is making us produce more fluid, and therefore we need to swallow more. That's how it works for me. Okay. I do know that after a while that goes. It's just irritating while it happens, because it keeps bringing us back. But just persevere if that's happening to you, and just know that in time that will sort itself out. Another one is when our head starts to drop, you know, like this, like you feel, I'm going to go to sleep in a minute, you know. You're not sleeping. I can assure you what's happening is you're going from one state of consciousness into another, but it's not a smooth transition. And it is nothing to do with sleep. Trance is nothing to do with sleep at all. It's passive, it's subdued, but it certainly isn't sleep, because you can't do anything when you're asleep. And the spirit world can't do anything with you either. Because if they could, then every night when we go to bed, we could say, could you, to the spirit world, while I'm asleep, can you heal the world? And we know they can't do that. They need us to be conscious. Okay, maybe subdued, but still conscious. You know, they can't work with us in that state. Rapid eye movement is another symptom. If you're suffering from that, then I would suggest that you go a little bit deeper. Just think to yourself, I want to go beyond this state, because it's too superficial. And it will hold you back if you stay there, because you're not going into the trance state. But how it works for me is we start off like now, random thoughts. Then we go into the stillness and silence. Then we go into attunement. And then we go into inspiration, which is quite a light state. And then we go into mediumship, clairvoyance, sentience, clairaudience. And then beyond all of that, we go into trance. And so if you're going down within yourself and you see a spirit that's joined you, please remember you found them. They haven't found you. You found the point where they are. And that's they're showing themselves to you, because you found them. They haven't found you. So the whole key to this is acknowledge, let go, move on. Learn to be detached. When your thoughts come in, as they will, because you're human, your thoughts will come in and they will put you off track. Just acknowledge that they've done that and then rejoin. Don't wreck it for yourself by going, oh goodness, I've now wrecked all that. Well, if you do that, you will. But if you just gently let go of what you're thinking of, go back to where you were and rejoin, you'll be fine. And the more you do that, the more you'll train your mind to stay focused, and the more you'll train your subconscious mind not to keep interfering, because it will. It will try and put you off track more times than I care to tell you. You know, the mind comes in, you know, like as soon as you sit down and you think, oh, I'm really comfortable, you know, I'm really ready to go. And then it'll be, oh, did I take the washing out the washing machine? Or did I turn the gas off, or whatever? You know, something will come in your mind that will just do that to you. And then if you keep ignoring it, I mean, obviously don't ignore the gas, but you know, if it's a problem, but just, you know, if you ignore it, if you learn detachment, which is the key to trance, you'll find that stillness and silence, and you'll find that power. But it will test you. I can't promise you how long it's going to take, but it happens to all of us, where we learn in degrees. You know, you can't learn this overnight, but what we can do is we can make a damn good start just by the focus and intention that we want to blend better with the spirit world. They will help you all they can, I promise you. Okay. So another final one is when I'm looking at people going into the altered state, very often I will see somebody going in and they're going down within themselves, then they come up a little bit, they readjust, and then they go back down, but even further, then they come up, readjust, and go down a bit further. That is normal, because the mind will not let you go further than it feels comfortable. You've got to remember that. So it'll be in stages. So even if you feel for, you know, one or two times you're going up and down a bit, don't worry about it. Just know that that's the mind finding its place and finding its comfort zone. And once it finds that, then you can go further and further. But the mind won't let you go further than it feels comfortable with. Please remember that. So now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to sit in the power again. Okay, but this time with the idea of going to the right place in terms of consciousness for trance healing. So I just want you to relax, take a deep breath, breathe out slowly if it helps. Personally, I would suggest you breathe out very slowly. That normally works for me. Just feel the weight of your body on your chair. Just connect to the energy in your room. Just move your mind up, raise your consciousness to meet that of the spirit. Invite them close. Don't expect them, don't demand, invite. Always use courtesy because they're you and me without a body. So invite them close and set your intention that you would like them to lead you where you need to be for trance healing. And I will leave you there for a few minutes. Okay, just very gently bring your minds back to your room, please. Again, please take your time. Be sure to be fully back before you open your eyes. Thank you. Okay, is everybody okay? I think everybody's back. Okay, great. Thank you. Has anyone got any questions about that you'd like to ask? Anything you're not sure about, or any experience that you've had that you're not sure about at all? No. Yes? And Greta?
Anne Grete, hello. I felt some pain in my neck.
Okay. Is it there now?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Is it less than it was?
Yes.
Then that tells me that you are quite sensitive to energy.
Yes.
And therefore it seems like, that when the energy builds up, it may put pressure on your neck. It may be that you've got a very slight issue with your neck, like most of us have got. I don't mean anything, nothing nasty at all, but it might just be that you've got a bit of neck strain or something, and that's where you're feeling it. So you may find too, when you're having healing, that especially trance healing, that you might have a little bit of discomfort, but because of your sensitivity to energy. But I would just say to you that, and this is from personal experience, that my own personal experience, because I always seem to suffer when I have healing as well. And I feel it's like the spirit world is pulling that pain out. That's how it feels. So I would just take it as a form of healing.
Okay.
All right. Okay. But let me know if you've still got it in a little while,
Yes,
will you?
thank you.
Okay. Okay. Eleanor? Oh, hi.
Hello. Just a quick one. I felt like close to the end there, I felt like I was dreaming, and then I felt like a drop, and then it was like very smooth and tranquil. Is that just
Absolutely.
kind of going through those states?
That's exactly right. What you just did was perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you found it. When you feel that, the feeling of being subdued, that's when you surrender. And it's when and that comes with experience, but it's when you know that you can drop, but you know that the spirit world will catch you. And once you get that feeling, then there's no going back, because they've got you and you've got them. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Everybody else okay? Great. Okay. So what I'd like us to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms in a minute. And what I'd like you to do is, first of all, just please bear with me, because I've got to just explain what we're going to do when we're in there. The person who works first is going to be two of you. The person that works first, what I'd like you to do is to energetically connect with your sitter, with your partner. What this does is it creates a bigger energy field for the spirit world to work with. So you can imagine that there's your energy as the healer, and then there's your sitter's energy with their energy. But combining the two gives the spirit world much more to work with, because energy is everything in this work. Our job is to understand energy. It's to know energy. It's to be able to see energy, feel energy, and so on. And our work from start to finish is about energy. So all I'm saying to you is think to your partner, and I mean it as quickly. I don't mean read them, not for a second. I don't want anyone doing that, because that's going to dilute the quality of your work. But what I want you to do is just to think your thoughts to that person and then move them away and go to the spirit, and then do that process that I explained about, you know, sitting comfortably, tuning to the room, then going to the spirit, and then set your intention, which is for the spirit world to give healing in the trance state to your partner in the very best way possible. Okay, has everybody got that? So I want you just to sit comfortably. I want you to be relaxed. I want you to project your energy to your sitter. That's it. I don't want you staying there. I don't want you reading them. I want you to know that it happens with just a very quick thought, and then move your mind away from your sitter so that you attune to the spirit. You go to the spirit world. You set your intention, which is you would like them to give healing to your partner through the trance state in the very best way possible. Then move your mind away from that thought or those thoughts, and then move your mind into the stillness and silence within you, becoming smaller and smaller, going down further and further, so that you find your own sacred space. Okay, and we're going to have just 10 minutes each, with just a couple of minutes for feedback at the end. Okay, is that all right with you, Libby? Great.
Perfect. So I just asked Gail several times to put her camera on. There's no response. So I've just
Just leave it. Don't worry.
popped her in the waiting room. So it means that we're going to have 43.
We've got an odd number. So if
an
you
odd
put,
number.
yeah, so if you put 3 together, is that all right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll just make those now for you.
Thank you.
So do you want me to open the rooms now?
Yes,
tonight?
please. Yeah, start now. Great, thank you. Okay, great. Okay. So, we're not all back yet. Okay. Just wait for everybody to get back. Okay. Not quite.
Libby, sorry, Katja speaking. I have a very short question, please.
Did you want to ask me, Katja?
Well, in fact, it's logistics, because I have my cat waiting for his fish. I was just wondering if we're going to have a little break in 5 minutes or so, or.
Yeah, we'll have one in about 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
No problem. Don't worry, Katja, you're okay. Okay, I think we're all back now. Okay. So how did everybody get on in that exercise? Is everybody okay? Is there anything that anyone wants to run past me or ask about? Anyone got any doubt? Yes. Diane?
Diane, yes.
Yeah.
I always am aware of my hands, whatever level of trance I'm trying to do. Is that wrong? Not in terms of healing, but that's where my attention seems to go. I'm just aware.
Yeah, we got to remember that the hands are the most, in our case, are very, very sensitive, because we often feel, that's where we use our senses a lot, in touch and feeling and sensing energy and all of that. I would just personally, I would try to get myself away from that, because you don't want to be attached to anything. So I would just say to yourself, okay, well, today I'm going to think about a color and focus that on a color. So see if you can take your mind away from the impact of your hands, because when we're aware of our body, we're only in trance. When we're aware of our body, we can't use our minds in the way that they're meant to. But we all have these kind of hang-ups. Don't take that the wrong way. We all do. So don't feel that you're on your own. But the sooner you can overcome that, the better. Then you can really move further on in your mind.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But a shout if you're still doing it towards the end. Okay, we'll see. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Simone. I had a question. So when I was doing the healing for my partner, I actually felt some of the same things that she felt in her body as pain.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Is that me still being in the physical?
Oh, well, it's actually you being a good medium and a good healer, because it means that you're actually in what I call empathy with your sitter. But unfortunately, with trance, you want to move away from that, because that's going to hold you back. Because if you're thinking about the discomfort in your body, then you're not going to be able to go into the stillness and silence to the degree that you need for trance. Does that make sense to you? So
Yeah,
what I would say, no, don't take this the wrong way, because I've been there, done it, you know. We have to go through these things to find out what to do and what not to do. So, but it's all a question of learning to be detached. So what I would do next time is say to myself, okay, I don't want to feel anything. I just want to go into that stillness and silence. I want to go into that power. And not, it's because you're empathetic to your partner, you know, you take on, no, you don't take on their condition, you take on the thought of their condition. You're not, you're just feeling it, but you're only getting a reflection of it. You're not getting the condition itself, is what I'm saying, you know.
Okay, so just put it in my head, say I don't want to feel anything.
Yeah, that's it. And see if you can move beyond that. You just acknowledge it, let it go, move on, and say, I don't want to feel that, don't want to feel anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
and see how you get on. Okay, but just shout if you need my help, don't worry.
thank you.
Hi Lorraine. Hiya.
I am so on mute at the moment. Diane and I was also talking about the very much difference, because probably most ladies here and gentlemen are healers already, right? We were talking about the difference between this and things like Reiki, right?
I don't honestly know about Reiki, because I've never studied it, but I do know that Reiki is not spiritual healing. And please don't take this the wrong way, because as I say, I don't know much about it, but I believe that Reiki is all about vocabulary, and it's about, you know, a ritual as such. And this is about allowing this, anyway, I can't answer about Reiki, but all I can talk about is spiritual healing. And spiritual healing is about allowing the spirit to do the work, and with trance healing.
And I think the difference for you, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Simone.
No, you're all right.
I think the difference was, though, is sometimes when Reiki healers work, right, they often, the patient feels something, they feel an interaction. And what Diana was talking about was that with trance, it's not necessarily that the person that you're working with will feel anything at the moment, right?
Oh, they can.
It can, but not. Yes, go on, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, I mean, I've never ever had healing and I've not felt it ever. Yeah. I'm not only talking about receiving it. I'm not talking about giving it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. I've you know, because I'm sensitive to energy, like a lot of people here are, you know, and the fact, when somebody comes to me for healing, and especially if it's trance healing, I always tell them that they can feel heat, cold, tingling, pressure, or nothing at all. Because some people think that if they don't feel anything, they've not received anything. Yeah. And that's not true, because it works above and beyond the limitations and restrictions of our minds.
Yeah.
You know, so don't feel, if you don't feel anything, that you haven't received anything. The fact that that person wants healing for you, you'll get some healing, no question.
Thank you.
I hope that's helped. You're welcome.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Hi, Kim. You're welcome.
Oh, actually, then I have a question, because sometimes when I've been doing trance healing, some people can feel an upset stomach, or get really dizzy afterwards, so they wonder if I've done something wrong with them, or but then it gets better. But
of course, but you see, the point about healing is why we're doing this in trance is because we're allowing the spirit to do the healing, and not us. We're allowing them to direct it where it's needed, not where we think it's needed, or even the sitter thinks it's needed. Because in today's society, we've got a lot of psychosomatic illness. So therefore, if you're not walking very well because you're not thinking very well, there's no point working on your feet when it's your mind that needs working on.
I also had some throw up afterwards? Can that?
Well, that's basically because they have obviously got very sensitive solar plexus, and it's hit them there. And we have to also remember that the stomach is the most sensitive organ in the body.
Yeah, so then it's all okay.
Yeah, and maybe they needed to throw up, but I wouldn't go around telling everybody.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Are you okay, Lorraine, or did you want me to ask another question? No, you're okay. Okay. Anybody else? Everybody else okay? Trudy, hi.
When I drop down and I work with people, they always say that well, my eyes go funny. So my eyes almost like roll up.
Yeah, a lot of
a
people, but a lot of people when they go into the alter state, they roll their eyes. I would say to you that's a habit that I would particularly try to stop if I were you. It's
and also,
like,
I say my face looks almost like
I just if I can just deal with the eyes first, okay.
Yeah.
The reason is the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to scare your sitter, okay. And it sounds a little bit, I know it's not, but it sounds a little bit like The Exorcist, you know. So you want to be in that place where everything about you is normal, straightforward, there's nothing different about you, you know, and your eyes rolling back is about you. It's not about the spirit. It's you going into that makes you do that. So you need to just say to yourself, put that thought in your mind is, I'm not changing my eyes. My eyes are staying as they are, just with them closed, just gently closed, and you'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure of that. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrea?
I got a basic question. What is the difference between trance healing and distance healing? Is it the same, just without a sitter in
No, it
the
depends
room?
on which kind of healing you're doing. If I was sitting and I was sending healing to you, like now, if I sat here and I just felt the spirit with me and I just thought I would like Andrea to receive healing, that's distant healing, whether I'm with you in the chair opposite me or with you as we are now, maybe hundreds or thousands of miles apart. That's distant healing. But when we're in the trance state, we can do that in the trance state too. But it depends on what you're doing, you know, and how it works. If I'm in the trance state, obviously it's not me sending you healing, it's the spirit world working with you and them knowing where you need healing and then working with those areas first.
Ah, okay. So I understood the difference. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's no problem at all. Okay, everybody else okay? I think for the sake of Catch's Cat, we need to go and have a quick break. If you don't mind, if we could just have a very, very short break of 5 minutes. Is that all right with everybody? Okay, smash it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start thinking about how we can help our sitter even more. And what I mean by that is the spirit world talks to me about specifically about, you know, if somebody is eating or drinking stuff that's going to poison their system, no amount of healing is going to help them until they stop. So that's where we come in. But obviously with this, what I'm about to talk about is, you know, there comes a responsibility, you know, that I believe the spirit world will never tell us anything that will do anybody any harm. So, you know, don't think that, you know, you can, it gives you freedom to say anything. It doesn't. In a court of law, you can't say the spirit world told me to tell you that, you know, it's not going to stand up. So I want you to know that, you know, we've got to remember we're people and we all have a responsibility with our words. And so what I want to quickly see if I can show you is, okay, if Ron, if you could just,
Hi.
where are you? Oh, there you are up there. Sorry. Yep. Thank you.
Right.
So Ron, if you're all right with this, I'm just going to very quickly, I'll be as quick as I can, going to give you some healing and see what the spirit wants to say to you. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great, Simone. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just going to go into the alter state and I'm just going to let the spirit world, you know, do the work. But I want them just as I withdraw from the power, I'm going to set my intention, which is that I want them to give you healing in the very best possible way. And I'm not going to be spending a long time because obviously my job is to get everybody else working. I want you to know that, first and foremost, that I believe that spiritual healing takes place once we've connected in the first 15 to 20 seconds. The rest is comfort factor. So I don't want you thinking that it was so short, you didn't get anything. But I also want to see if there's any words that the spirit world would like to tell you. Okay. So we're just going to do that together. All right. So you just sit back, you just relax. Ron, you haven't got to do anything, all right? And let me do the job, all right? So just bear with me a minute. I've just got to go into the altar state and maybe everybody else who's just not doing anything at the moment, if you don't mind sending your thoughts to Ron as well, I'm sure he could do with them too. Your thoughts of healing. So I'm just now just moving my mind away from the here and now, going into that very still and silent place within me. Are you all right, Ron?
Yeah, thank you. I felt the energy. Thank you.
Great. Okay. I asked them as I was coming out of the power, and only when I'm out of the power, not when I went in or not while I was in it. But as I was withdrawing from the power, I asked them to tell me what I could mention to you that it would help you. And it may be just confirmation for you, but they said to you not to wear anything that restricts your neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And so nothing tight like a shirt that does up at the collar or
Yeah.
anything that fits around your neck. It's so important that you wear very loose clothing.
Yeah, I can make sense of that because I get a lot of pain in my neck.
Good. Okay. And your neck has to be free, basically.
Thank you.
No. Okay. I hope that's
Makes
helpful.
a lot of sense. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. So that's what I would like you all to do in this next session. I want you to, do what you've been doing so far with healing. But as you come out of the healing, I want you to, when you set your intention to be, you would like healing for your sitter in the best possible way, as you've been doing. But you would also like some words to tell your sitter that's going to help them. It doesn't necessarily have to be about healing, by the way, but you leave that to the spirit world as to what those words are. But they have to be positive. And I don't want anyone leaving here feeling worse than they did than when they arrived. Okay. So we've got to be really careful about words. Okay. But I'm sure you will be. All right. So I would like us to go into breakout rooms. And again, you've got the same amount of time again. But please remember, feedback is essential in this work, because without feedback, you would need to know you're effective. And that's the best way of getting it, of understanding that you're effective, is what your sitter says to you. Okay. So I don't know where Libby is.
So do you want me to open the room, Simone?
Yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't find you. Sorry.
Just open them now.
Yeah, okay.
So there's 22 rooms because there's we've got even numbers again.
Okay, great. I think we're all right. Yeah, okay. I'll just speak to Andrea first. Hi.
Hi. One question is, every time when I go into trance, I got this pressure on my nose. It feels like I couldn't breathe. And I asked them already several times, please take it away, because I really don't like it, but it's still
but it's not about the spirit. And I'll tell you why I know, because it used to happen to me, not the nose, but it would be my head. And I used to come out with bad headaches, and I don't actually suffer with headaches. It's one of the few things I don't have. And it's to do with opening your mind to an energy you've not blended with. Okay. And so, and once you've fully blended, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, when they're fully blended, you know, that's when the spirit world moves their face around or their head around, or they move around all the time. It's the complete opposite. When there's a complete blending, there's nothing different. You know, you should be in the power and completely blended with them. No pain, no discomfort. But what I will say to you is, and this is what I had to teach myself, because I used to go through what you're going through. Are you still going through it now? Have you still got it now?
No.
Okay. Well, if I just tell you what I did, and then and with doing it, it went instantly. Okay. And I know it's going to sound nuts, but I'm still going to tell you. Okay. I used to say to myself, I'm just close my eyes, just say to myself, I'm not having this, and I'm not putting up with it. And it would go instantly.
Okay.
All right. Try it and see how you get on. Okay.
Thank you.
I do not believe in suffering for this. Okay. All right. So I hope you feel better soon. Hi, Katja.
Hi, it's not a question, it's an observation of what happened, because it was kind of funny. When we started off, we were 2 in the room, and I went and a third person joined, but I didn't know. So when I came back, I said, oh, hi. And then, in fact, the healing went to the first sitter, but the message she couldn't get, but the message was for the second person. So really funny. So everybody got something.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, that's excellent. As long as it worked.
Yeah.
Anna Greta.
I got this with my nose also, and I have it now. I have it now too. My nose.
Okay, well, if you just close your eyes, just do me a favor, just close your eyes now. Just say to yourself, I'm not having this, I'm not putting up with it. But mean it. Okay, you're all right now. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, it's as easy as that. I had to teach myself that one, by the way. Yeah, because I don't believe in suffering. Okay, you're right now?
It's much better.
Good.
But,
that's great. That will go gradually. That will go gradually.
One thing more. I had this. It's a point in my neck.
Right.
Also, and I have had that for some minutes. And
well, I would do the same with that as well. Okay. Exactly the same thing. It's all a response to energy. That's the point. Because you didn't have it when you came. No. You know, and I don't want you to suffer. Okay.
Thank you.
Try it again. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry. I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name, but I think it might be Hanalka.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
correct, Simone. Hanalka. Thank you so much. I would like to just to say thank you very much for my partner because I get the right message.
Great. Excellent.
It happened today and I get the right message and I will say just thank you very much.
Oh, no, that's lovely. Well done. Okay, that's super. It shows the intelligence. It shows the intelligence. All right. So yes. I'm sorry to rush you, but I know we've got a lot to get through. So I want us to move on to trance speaking now. So we've done a lot with healing and we've done a lot with blending. And that's why I wanted to start with the trance healing, because that gives us a little bit more confidence. And, you know, the speaking side to me is probably the hardest part. The actual act of speaking, you know, because you know, your head's in, you know, interfering all the time when you're trying to speak, but or allowing the spirit to speak. But one thing I just want to try and help you with is when you go into the trance state and you just feel that connection with the spirit and you know that your mind has become passive and subdued, then I just want you to start when you're talking. I just want to say to you, just use the words. This is what the spirit world has taught me, by the way. The spirit wants to tell you. Otherwise, what happens is you're looking for words all the time. You're looking, what are they going to say? How do they want to say it? You know, am I supposed to be saying that? And your mind comes in. This is not about you and me. It's about the spirit world. So saying those words out loud, it's almost like a taper, if you like, that leads to the big issue. So, you know, it's like those few words then encourage the spirit world just to speak through you, and you just, you know, allow them to speak in that altered state. Now, please remember, in the beginning of your development, it's 97% you, possibly 3% spirit, but the more you practice, the more you work, that ratio changes. So don't worry about it. As long as you're not looking for pictures, as long as you're not looking or hearing or seeing or sensing, or you're doing your best. That's all you can do, is do your best. But please remember that it's not something that you know, happens overnight. You've got to work at it. And maybe in this next session, you might get, I don't know, a couple of sentences you can't remember. Great. That's a fantastic start. Maybe 3 or 4 words you don't remember. But that's how you know. And all I want to say to you is, if you are serious about your trance work, then I would suggest that when you're on your own at home, sit in the power, as we've been doing today, ask them to speak through you and put your phone on recording. And then just allow them to speak through you to your phone. And then when you've finished, or when you're ready and when you can bear the voice, bear to hear your own voice, by the way, because that's awful. But once you get over that and you listen, you can tell how much of it you remember. And if you remember all of it, it's fine. The next time you might remember something like 90%, the next time 80%, and so on. That's how it works. But there's no shortcut. I'm ever so sorry, folks. There's no shortcut to trance. It's all about the blending between you and the spirit and getting that right. Okay. And getting your mind into the right place. What I'm hoping is that you're, you know, I want you now just to sit back just for a moment, relax. I want you to go into that stillness and silence again. This is just going to be for about 5 minutes. That's all. And I want you to set your intention to the spirit world. Please remember, they're probably not gone anywhere because they know they're going to be working with you for the next few hours. But I want you to set your intention, which is that you would like them to take you to the place of consciousness where you will speak. So just let them lead you to where you need to be, because it will be in a different place or different sensing, if you like, to what it was when you were healing? Now, just very gently bring your minds back again. Once again, taking your time. Be sure to be fully back before you open your eyes. Thank you. I think everybody's back. Okay. So what I'd like us to do now is to go into breakout rooms again. This time, Libby, it will be a group of 3, and that works out at 14 rooms at 3. Okay.
Okay, I'll just create them now.
Yeah, okay. But I'm going to carry on talking if you don't mind. Basically, what I'm asking you to do now is to go into breakout rooms. There'll be 3 of you working. I want you, to think about your energy between the 3 of you first. That connection between the 3 of you is essential to your success, because the individual success is the group success. So once you get that energy between you, then you're encouraging the spirit to come even closer. Then you set your intention that you would like them to speak through you to the other 2 people about some form of philosophy. It doesn't, please don't think it's got to be clever. The simplest philosophy is always the truest, and the easiest to understand. That's what we're looking for, not highfalutin words that nobody's heard of, or language of a few centuries ago, you know, these and thous. They're not relevant to today. So, you know, just be yourself, but just know that the Spirit wants to speak through you to the two people working with you. And then when you finish, the next person works, and then the next person works, and so on. And then with just a couple of minutes at the end, just for feedback. Feedback is essential in this work. As I said before, the feedback we get should be always encouraging, should always be supportive, should always be positive. It doesn't mean you've got to say it was absolutely fantastic. Nobody wants to hear that. But you need to know that it had an effect. It had an effect. Okay. And therefore, when you examine it, when you finish, the three of you, I want you to look at the common denominator between one and the other. So there should be a theme that runs through, because that's telling you about the Spirit being present. You know, sometimes if those of you that have ever gone to a spiritualist service, you'll see that from the prayers to the music to the address to the demonstration, there is a common theme through all of that. As I say, even including the prayers and the music. And that shows that the spirit world has been involved in organizing that. And they will already know what they want to say through you. You don't have to guess at it. They already know. So I just want you to remember, when you start, you sit in the power and you start with the words the spirit wants to tell you, and see what happens from there. Because for me, it's almost like a spearhead. And it sort of settles your mind, rather than what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Is it coming now? How long am I going to wait for it? I know what that's like. I'm the one that asks more questions than all of you put together. I just know how unsettling it is. So that's why they taught me, the spirit will taught me to use those words. So it stops your mind from being overactive, worrying about it. But all I want to say to you is something that I hear them tell me a lot, which is let the spirit do the work. You're asking them to help you. Let them do it. Try not to interfere. I know that's hard, but know that the whole idea of what we're doing is to enable a closer blending with the spirit world. What that actually means is that we get our answers from the spirit world, not necessarily about fortune telling, but but what we're looking for from the spirit world, we get that quicker because of the blending. You know, the healing, we know we can do that within minutes because of the blending between us and the spirit. And that power that you work with will spiritualize you, will help you with your own spirituality. It will help you see that balance between the spirit and materialism. So that's what this is all about. It's about enabling the spirit to be a part of your life, not all your life, because you're here to live in a material world, but to include the spirit in your life, and it will touch everything that you are, everything that you will be, and your purpose and your mission as well. So just remember, when you're with the people, don't worry about anybody else. Just be there for each other. That's true spirituality, is to be there for each other, support each other. Okay, everybody all right so far? Okay, so we're going to go into the breakout rooms now. Okay, thank you.
Simone, can I ask you a question while we are waiting?
Yeah, please do.
When we do trance work, do we always have to close our eyes to concentrate? Is it possible to open our eyes open to do that?
I don't see it, because if you're seeing something, you can't be in trance. So if you've got your eyes closed, then you can move your mind away from the here and now. Whereas if you've got your eyes open, they can distract you from going into trance. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. I think we're nearly there now. Where's Sandra? Oh, there you are. Did you raise your hand? Yeah, sorry, it's a very faint hand.
I know, I can't change the colour.
It's okay, don't worry, I just saw it.
Yeah,
okay.
I had a question. You just said that if we see something, it means it doesn't work. Does that also mean that if we're seeing like, I was seeing like blues and purples at some point, and then it went like just.
Well, the thing was, you saw it at some point, and then it went.
Yeah.
That meant that your mind moved beyond that when it went.
Okay.
Because if you're seeing color, that's in a very, very, very light state. You want to move beyond that. Okay. So you were right. You saw color, but then you moved beyond it and you didn't see color anymore. So it's good.
Okay.
You didn't, at least you weren't seeing it all the way through.
No. Yeah.
That's great. That's super. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. We've still got some more people to come back.
I think the breakout rooms aren't closed because we didn't get the message to come back. We just went back ourselves.
Yeah.
I just looked and they've been closed. They should be coming back, Simone.
They are, because the numbers are going up now, so it's okay. Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah. Just seemed like a very long minute.
So it was a very long minute because I hadn't shut the breakout rooms. And I did it about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, right, okay.
At least I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay.
We thought we were lost. We thought we were lost. We couldn't get out.
Same here. We're like, maybe we just stay here for the rest of the time.
Yeah, it's like when somebody asks me to help, I often think to myself, am I ever going to get back into the main room again, you know? Oh, me and technology. Okay. Okay. I think we're all back now. Okay. So how did everybody get on with that? Did it work?
Yes.
Everybody okay? Let me just look for the other people as well. Everybody all right? Did everybody get on all right? Great. Anybody have a problem with it? Oh, Lorraine, hi.
No, we didn't have a problem with it. Sorry, no, we were good. I have a question, but
yeah, that's the question's fine. Yeah.
Actually, and so we did very well, and there was a great theme that was coming through.
Lovely.
Viv had brought up something, and I wanted to ask you and get your opinion. Is Hanal just spoke very strong and very deep, right, when she was in trance.
Okay.
And Viv and I were very quiet spoken.
Right.
And Viv had given the insight where she said, well, maybe it was the stronger voice was more connected, right, than the quieter voice. And I said, I don't think that's the case.
Not true.
Let's bring it up with you and just based on.
Yeah, no, that's not necessarily true. It may be the strong voice is often because the medium needs that strong voice to convince themselves that it's not them. That's how it works. The more you work with a spirit, the less you will hear a change in the voice. In the beginning of my development, there was very different personalities that used to speak through me, and they were all very different. But now it's my voice, but the words are not mine. That's the difference. I mean, it's a question of refinement. All mediumship is a process of progressive refinement. The more you do it, the more refined it becomes. That's how it works. Okay. But very often some of these things happen in order for us to be convinced, if you like, in the very beginning, to keep us on track. So just know it, but always remember it's going to change. Nothing stays the same ever with the spirit world. Nothing. Okay. You're welcome. Mel, hi.
Hi, we was just wondering and hoping, would you be able to do us a quick trance demonstration?
On what?
As you showed us the healing, we was hoping you would show us the speaking as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to do that until later because I'm going to be doing that in a minute. All right. So, okay. But what I want us to do next is I want us to look at an area that I call trance guidance, which is really about guiding somebody from the spirit, bringing through some help or support for them, not about their spiritual work and not about fortune telling either. I'm not a fortune teller, but to do with their life. Okay. So I don't want to upset and choose one person over another, because that's just not fair. Libby, are you okay if I do this with you? Good. Okay. Can I just ask you if you could just respond? This is very personal to me, because I like everybody else, I have a very inquisitive mind, and if I don't hear anything, I start to look to see what's going on. I don't like silence. So you just saying yes or no, whatever you want to say, just keeps me out the way. That's how it works for me. Okay. So that's all I want. It's just a response. Okay. So this is trance guidance, and I can't really explain it other than show you what hopefully it is, but it's about helping people in their life, but not necessarily just about their work with spirit. It can be any angle whatsoever, but I have to leave that to the spirit world, because it is all about helping them to maybe find a way through their life, or if they're going through a difficult time or whatever. So so we just have to wait and see. All right. So, okay, just bear with me a minute, and I'm just going to go into the trance state and see, and let the spirit world speak to you, Libby. Okay.
Thank you.
This is a turning point in your life.
I understand.
The time has come for you to start to reconsider what's important to you, how much of life you want and how much you can discard. The pressure, the amount of work, and the amount of time that you have for yourself has changed dramatically in recent months. You're now starting to take control of your own thinking, not allowing others to have more of a say over you than you. You understand?
I understand perfectly.
And now is the time for you to start to think more about not just your health, but to have fun in your life, to explore, to experiment. You know, your work with us is so important. That will always be the case. But you know too that your time with your family and your friends is of equal value. We would just ask you not to allow yourself to be overtaken by your work with us, and to remember that you are entitled to a life too.
I understand.
We see you as a free spirit. You will always be free. Always be free to work in the way that you do, be with the people you want. But nothing should ever tie you down. Nothing should ever restrict you, because once that happens, then you become a different person.
I understand.
Now you are now starting to feel freer than ever before, because you are determined to live life to the full. And for that, we wish to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Okay, are you all right, Libby?
Yeah, that was absolutely spot on. I understood every single thing that they said to me. It was all very accurate. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But the thing is, obviously, my relationship with the spirit world is such that I was asking them not to be too personal, because this is public. And this is very public for me, you know, and we have to be careful of that as well. We can't go divulging, you know. So the spirit world is an intelligent world. If we just talk to them and say in our minds, when we're in a group like this, then, you know, just to make it so that only the recipient understands it, nobody else. Okay. And it should be the case. All right. So is everybody clear about what I just did or how it all happened? Everybody all right? Okay, because I'd like you to have a go now and in breakout rooms, but this time you're going to be in pairs. Okay. And we now got an even number, so we're all right. So, and I just want you to be 10 minutes each. Okay. That makes it 20. Right.
Can we have 5 minutes break or 2? Would be also
okay. Actually, we could, but I'm ever so sorry, folks, but we're going to have to be really quick. I'm really sorry. Is that all right? Just a quick couple of minute break. Okay. So that gives Libby time to put everybody into breakout rooms as well. That's good. I'm sorry, folks, but it's just time is going faster than I planned. All right. Okay. Has anyone got any questions about that at all? No? Everybody okay? Did you find that all right, that exercise?
Yeah, it was good.
Good, great. Thanks, Lorraine. Okay. Okay. So I'm sorry about this, but you know, time is flying by and I really want us to get on. And this time I'd like us to work with trance communication. Trance communication is a subject that's very close to my heart. It's when the spirit speaks directly to a loved one. And because we're running out of time, normally if I was demonstrating this and just demonstrating like with a group of people, I would just let the spirit world do all the work from start to finish. But when I'm teaching, what I do is I get a contact from the spirit world. Hopefully one of you will understand who I'm talking about. And then I will go into trance with that individual. It saves a bit of time. But more importantly, as from your perspective, from the student's perspective, once you get your contact placed, then there's a feeling of peace, knowing that they know who it is. When you have that feeling that you don't know, are they going to accept it? That could stop you going into the trance state altogether. I hope you understood that. Okay. So I'm just going to do my best and see who's joined us from the spirit world. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking at breakneck speed and I'm going to be doing this very quickly because I want you to work. Okay, so let's see who's joined us from the spirit world. I'm aware of a mum here who wants to speak to a daughter. And I know that towards the end of this mum's life, she and her daughter were inseparable. Her daughter would take her everywhere, like to the doctors, the hospital, every checkup. And it was almost like a program of events is what she's telling me. I know that this woman, this mum, had real issues with her heart and her kidneys as well. Okay. And I know too that there was an issue to do with high blood pressure, and that was a big issue with this mum. Does anybody understand that so far? I'm sorry, it's very quick. Yeah. Elena, you understood all of that, did you?
Yes.
Great, thank you. I'm just going to get one more piece of information, just actually for myself, if you don't mind, just to make sure I'm with the right person. Okay, because would you remember your mum ever wearing a fur coat?
Fur coat. Not much. The winter
yeah,
coat with the top.
Okay, all right. So Kate, you understand all of this as well?
Yes, I do.
But all of it?
all of it.
Okay, that's fine. No, that's what I want. So now we're going to find some information that separates you out. Okay. Because I've only got one mum here. I'm really sorry. I'd love to have two, but I've only got one. Okay. So as I'm asking this mum to give me something, one of you would know that there's a letter that she's written to you, or a note that she's written to you that you've recently looked at.
Can think of it now.
Neither of you. Okay. Well, she's talking about writing and this note that you've got tucked away. No, neither of you. Okay, let me see if I can find another piece of information then. No, I'm ever so sorry, my love, but I know
that might be me, because my mom wrote a letter to us and I have it tucked away, and I read it some months ago, maybe a year.
Okay, but do you understand the rest of the information? Because that has to fit as well.
I was with her a lot in and out of the hospitals in the end of her kidneys was a big problem.
Okay, and blood pressure.
I'm not sure, I don't remember, but there was a lot of things going on.
Oh, okay, then let me see. Let me just say, this was meant to be quick. Hang on a sec. Okay, all right. Let me just see if I get one more piece of information which sorts this out. Okay. Who's got a problem with their big toe on their right foot? You have, Elena. Then that's where I am. Thank you so much, both of you, for trying to help me. But I know I'm with Elena because I needed some information that's very quick. Okay. So, Elena, are you okay? If I felt I was with you. I've got to be honest, right from the word go. But obviously, I've got to do my job. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to ask your mum to speak to you. Okay. All I ask, Elena, is that you respond to her, because that keeps me out. Okay, so just give me a moment and let me get into the state, and we'll see if we can do this. All right. It's been such a long time since we talked, and we used to talk a lot together. You really made my day. You always found something different to talk about. You remember those days? You remember those days?
Yes.
You were so kind to me and so gentle. And I didn't like being touched by the others. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I didn't like being touched by the doctors and the nurses. They were so rough. But you were always so gentle, always so kind. You were constantly reassuring me that I would be looked after. You made my life so much easier. You worried about me constantly. And now I'm free. And now I can tell you that I'm free. I can tell you how close I am to you. You know I am.
Yes.
You smell my perfume.
Yes.
And you know about the roses.
Yes.
And you know that I've been moving things in your home too.
Yes.
And you've been hearing voices and worrying about where they are. And I just want you to know, I wanted your attention. I wanted you to hear how much I love you, how much I care for you. And you need to hear this now. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, thank you. I know. Thank you.
And you know too well that I will always love you. I'm trying to help you, to heal you, to show you that there is a better life for you. You've been going through a rough patch, but you're coming out. That's good. So good. You're now beginning to stand up for yourself. And I'm so proud of you. I know we don't have much time. We could talk forever because we always did.
Yes.
You know, you just got to reach out your hand to me and I will touch you as you touched me. We will always be together, no matter where. We will be together forever. You are
Thank you.
very, very precious to me, and you know that because I told you so many times. But you just hang on with hope in your heart and peace in your heart, and together we can be strong, I promise. God bless you, my love. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Simone. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
very
you so
welcome. Are you all right? Did that make sense to you?
Yes, everything. And it was 2 days ago, 2 years when she passed away on Mother's Day. Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. Okay, so I'm sorry, folks, it's a bit rushed, but we're going to be a little bit over time, if that's all right. Okay, I'm so sorry to do that to you all. But anyway, we're going to just have, what I want you to do is have 10 minutes each where you just, get your contact from the spirit world. It doesn't have to be a lot of information, nowhere near as much as I gave anyway, just a couple of pieces of information. Just know that you're with that person in the spirit world, and then just allow yourself to go into their power, subdue your conscious mind, and let them do the work. Okay? And enjoy it. Please enjoy it. Okay. Speak to you later. Right, great. Okay. Okay, so everybody's finished. How have you got on? How did it go? There's a few nods. Yeah, Andrea?
It was so difficult after sitting 3 hours totally passive to getting in an active state, and then
it is hard.
Didn't work for me. The next time.
Okay, yep. Please do try it again, but try it at the beginning of the day and not at the end of the day. Okay. But the trouble with this was I wanted you to experience the more passive states because they're easier to start with. If I started with trance communication, that could have blown someone's mind who's never done trance before. So it was like it's a progressive way, going through the healing, through the speaking, one-to-ones, and then doing the communication. That's why I planned it that way. But I totally get where you're coming from. I really do. Trying to get that energy back up again. That's so hard, isn't it? Okay. Yes, Kim, hi.
I just wanted to add to what you said, because Simone, I could really notice how much better it was for me to have been in the altered state, in different states so many times before, because this communication has always been the most difficult for me.
Right.
And time being so many times in the altered state, it's like it was building up. So when we finally came to this part, it was like a breeze.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm so grateful for that.
Really, no, I'm happy to hear it. I really am. Well done. At least you got it. Super. Okay. Has anybody got anything they want to ask about that at all? Anything you're not sure of? I don't want you going home or going, you're already home. I don't want you. Oh, hi, Eleanor. Hi.
Hi. So with that, I felt like there's times when I would see little snippets of things.
That's okay, because those snippets will get less.
Okay.
It's all right. Don't worry. Don't put yourself under stress over it. Just know that your intention is to not do that, and it will gradually fade. I promise you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Now I was going to do work with trance spiritual assessments, but unfortunately we really just don't have time. So I know Libby's got some announcements that she just wants to make before we finish.
So first of all, thank you, Simone. It has been an absolutely fabulous workshop. So on behalf of NYDC, we just want to say a massive thank you.
Thank you. It's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it thoroughly.
It really has been fabulous.
Just gone quickly. Okay.
So very quickly, everyone's received an email of the courses Simone's doing at the Arthur Findlay College. I will send out this information in an email along with the recording. But on Monday, August the 12th, on Zoom through NYDC Education, Simone's doing spiritual assessment. That will be 7 o'clock till 9 p.m. So Simone will probably put it on your page, won't you, Simone? And I'll put it on the NYDC page for people to be able to join that. So, and she's also at the Barbanel at Stafford. This is an in-person workshop, and it's September the 14th to the 20th, and it's Trance Today. And I've been on a week with Simone, and it was fabulous at the Barbanel, so I highly recommend it. So if you want to go on that, all you need to do is contact the Barbanel Centre. If you just put that in on Google, it comes up, and you can book on that through Seamus. So is there anything you'd like to add to that, Simone?
Just to say thank you to everybody who's come online today. You've been wonderful to work with. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I've been whizzing through everything. I've forgotten how long breakout rooms take. But you know, that's why we wanted to put on the one about the trance spiritual assessments, because I hadn't been able to address that in this workshop, and it needs a little bit more time than 10 minutes. Okay, but I'm sure, you know, all I'm asking you to is keep practicing, keep working with trance. Please remember that the point of it all is to affect a perfect blending between you and the spirit. And when you've done that, when you've got that, they will always bring more to you. I promise. This is just the start of good things to come. And I just wish every one of you every success. And thank you so much for a lovely time, and especially to Libby, who's done all that hard work behind the scenes, all the marketing, all the technology as well. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you all again another time. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Good night and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.